What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to set up an enclosure for my Trinidad olive, which is Neo Holothele NC. So let's go ahead and get started. There's the hawk. Before there was a Tiffany outdoors, there was Tiffany the farmer.
Form U-turn when possible.
No, we're not U-turning.
Hi. Hi, what are you doing? Hi, Boo. What?
This here's her current setup, which worked really well when she was small, but this girl has gotten bigger. She hasn't completely outgrown this enclosure, but I do want to give her an enclosure that has more space in it, more ground space, and she's going to totally web that thing up. So let's give her a better enclosure and something that has more ventilation. There's ventilation in here, but then I started having some mold issues in there, and don't want that. That's not good for them. All right, let me show you what I'm going to use. Those that have been with me for a long time may remember this. This is my very first vivarium build. And I built this out of acrylic sheets that I got from either Lowe's or Home Depot, and it's held together pretty nicely, and I've not used it for anything, so I'm going to rehouse that girl in this. So what I've done is I've added more holes. See, the original design only had holes here. So I added holes in the top, holes in the doors, and holes along the top on all of the other sides. And ventilation holes going down all the way across. There's some in the back there, and all the way down to the down the side, down to the down that side there. Boy, I drilled a lot of holes in there. All right, let's go ahead and get started and get this set up for her. So here are my supplies. As some of you may or may not know, AC Moore is going out of business. So I got a lot of these for 60 to 70 to 80% off. So I got a bunch of artificial flowers. So this spider is gonna web up. They're heavy webbers. So I'm not going to put any live plants in here because she's going to web them up and kill them. So I'm just going to put in a bunch of artificial stuff. And one feature that I really hope she uses is this. Now, don't you guys think it would be really cool if she made a web right through the eye of this fake skull? This is a fish tank decor, and look how much that thing was. But I had to get it. Because I could just see this girl making a web and coming out of the eye of this thing. So I'm going to try and set that up so that happens. So we will see. All right, and I've got some other little fake stuff here. And all this is going to serve is anchor points for her to attach her web to. Now I'm going to be using some hot glue. I got the hot glue gun set up back there. And a lot of this stuff, I'm just going to hot glue it to the bottom. And then I'm going to add a thin layer of some substrate. And then have fun with this. So my plan is to take one of these little flower pots here and put it behind this, and I'm gonna put some dirt in it and all that, and hopefully she finds this inviting and goes in there. these any old kind of way. I'm not trying to think too hard about it. I did lay the skull in there just to give me a space around this, so I pretty much know kind of, not exactly, but kind of where I want this to go. And try and keep that in place so that I can make sure I have enough room for it. I think this looks pretty darn cool so far. I'm just laying this stuff any old kind of way. I'm not thinking about it, I'm just going with it. There's no wrong way to do this. I'm trying to just give her as many anchor points as possible. And I'm hot gluing this stuff down so it doesn't move around on her. And like I said, she's got plenty of places to anchor her web to. Wow, that looks pretty macabre. Like a Death Valley desert scene. Alright, I'm going to let this glue dry for a couple hours and let it, I don't think it's going to give off any kind of smells, but I am going to leave this door open for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and then I'm going to go ahead and add the substrate. So I've got plenty of anchor points in there. Now I want to put in some substrate. I'm just going to put a small layer of substrate on. This doesn't have to be a thick layer. Because like I said, this girl is going to web all of this up. Or at least most of this up. And won't be able to see the substrate anyway. So there's that. Alright, let me do something. I'm definitely going to have to secure this to the pot. To plug my heat gun back in. Yeah, definitely going to have to secure this to the pot because I don't want this to fall on her. So I'm going to put some glue up here and glue it in place. So I really want her to make that a hole down in there. Like I said, this doesn't need to be a thick layer of substrate because she's going to web up anyway. Most of this is going to be all covered up. And leaving that hole open like that is just going to be a suggestion, you know. Just a subtle suggestion to her. And what I'm doing is trying to build it up so that that hole right there looks like a really good option. And then I left this space over here for her water dish. There we go. That's going to look ugly for a little bit, but once she fills it in with her web, it's going to look awesome. Now I'm going to fill up the water dish, and I like using these Powerade caps because they're black, and they pretty much kind of blend in with the surrounding background and the vivariums and terrariums and things, and they don't take away or detract being white or a bright orange or anything. It's a nice black, so it kind of blends in. And I'm going to put this in this right hand corner here. I like keeping the water dishes so that they're easy to access. I can easily reach in with a pair of tweezers and get those right out.